Hello everyone and welcome back to the Breeze by Design YouTube channel. I'm so glad you're here. If you didn't know, I'm Bria and I'm the owner of Breeze by Design, and this is part 2 of the DIY closet. If you haven't already, I would go back and watch part 1 of the DIY closet before you come and watch this video, which is part 2. By going back to part 1, you'll be able to understand better about what we're going through here in part 2. As I have mentioned, this is part 2 of my DIY closet. This would be the middle to end part of the whole project, and like I like to call it, the fun and creative part. This part will feature optional steps that is just based on your budget and your needs. These optional steps are something that I opted for because it was just something that felt right for me in my DIY closet. So without further ado, let's get into it. So where we left off in part 1 was that I had put up shelving in all my clothing areas, my shoe areas, and also the miscellaneous parts of the closet. My next step would be to find the trim that I would want to put on all the edges of all the wood within the project. Trim really just gives the whole wood project a seamless look and also just shows that you've finished off all your woodwork, and it just makes it look put together. It also makes it look like each part of it is meant to be together, or like you just put the whole wood project in at once and not that it was done in pieces. To figure out which trim I wanted, I had to go and buy 2 different types. One type was grooved. It had 3 grooves within it. Second type was flat and smooth. After some consideration, I decided to go with the flat and smooth trim because it just didn't seem as busy as the groove trim did. I did still end up using the groove trim in another area that gave it some character, but also so I didn't waste the trim that I bought. But you'll see that in later in the video. I applied the trim using a brad nailer. After picking my trim and applying it with the brad nailer, it was time to start spackling all the holes that came from the previous installment within the closet. The holes I used Spackle, which I'll insert here, and I'll link it below. The spackle goes on pink but dries white, but I also caulked any gaps I had within the closet, so just give it a more seamless look and like the whole thing is put together correctly. The thing is to make it look as neat and professional as possible. Caulk I use will also be linked in the description. Our next order of business is sanding. This is the time when you use a sanding machine to sand all of the wood area, all the spackled wall, and any of the brackets that you may be painting over. Like I said, I use a sanding machine and 2 different sanding inserts. I went over every area about 2 to 3 times until it became the consistency that I wanted. I definitely sanded the wood until it felt like it was smooth and like I wouldn't get a splinter, but also, like I said, it is just whatever your preference. This is the sander that I used to sand all the wood when it was completed. As you can see from the video, I was wearing a fully protective coverall, goggles, a mask, and some gloves. Sanding can be a very harmful process and messy and irritating. You just want to protect yourself as much as possible, but also the coveralls help with not tracking any of the mess and the dust in any other rooms. I just kept it straight inside the project area and didn't take the coveralls off outside of that area. I kept it all inside the project area so the mess could be in one spot and easy to clean. We are moving right along. So your next step is paint. This is definitely the part of the video where your wants, your needs, and anything else creative is just coming in. So I was very back and forth on the paint color that I wanted for the closet. I didn't know if I wanted it kind of dark, moody, did I want it light? I didn't know where to go. So I definitely bought a lot of sample cards. Well, sample cards, you can get them free, but I got some sample cards. I got like the sample stickers for the wall so that I can actually see it in the area and space. And also looked at different social medias to see it in real, on something that was like already a surface, and looked at a lot of like the paint suppliers social media pages because they would definitely feature a lot of their paints, and I did come up with something. So on social media I came across a paint color that was being shown a lot on different interior websites and social media pages, and it definitely caught my eye. The color actually looked different in the different spaces that they had shown it on, and it changed with the color, just looked different. I think it depended on the light and maybe the type of paint that was bought. Regardless, it was the color that I wanted. So the color I chose is Waynesboro Taupe by Benjamin Moore. And here are the pictures that I found on social media of the color. There's also a sample card of the color that was at my local paint store. I also have the color that I sampled on a piece of wood that I used, so I could actually see how it would show up on the type of wood that I use. Didn't you see? Didn't you see? Hand in the painting process. As you can see, we were both still wearing a full coverage overall and all the other protective gear because we want to limit the mess that we would track outside of the project area and just keep it all contained in the project area. For a professional painter to come and paint my ceiling white, and also the baseboards, and also the other wall that is blank and has nothing to do with the wood within the project, painted white as well. This next step was definitely something that was optional and based off of if your budget works with it. So I was initially going to leave the top portion of the wood project and the closet insert blank and bare and nothing added to it. I probably was just going to add some storage totes into it, but I ended up having this idea to do something different with it. This idea was adding custom cabinets, and it seemed like I had enough space to add these cabinets in there, and with them being custom, I think it would be able to fit. So what I did was I went to my local Lowe's store and with my measurements of the area and the space and saw what I could do. I ended up going with their cheapest style in white and with glass windows. These did take a couple weeks to come in, and they usually tell you their estimated time when they will arrive to you, or you can come pick them up from the store. I had them shipped to me on a specific date that they gave, and I have my cabinets. There is an option at an additional price for Lowe's to come and install the cabinets for you when they deliver it. I decided against that. I had someone I know of in my family that could install these cabinets for me, as they have done stuff prior. And I just felt safe with that, and I knew I would get the right result that I wanted. On top of that, the family member also installed my handles, which I stuck with a bronze color like I did with one of my other brackets in the closet. And they also have glass handle on them. So they look really pretty, and they definitely fit my vibe. So this next part is also optional, and that is lighting. If you already have lighting inside your closet that you like, stick with it. Me, on the other hand, I wanted to change my light way prior to this project and decided now was the time, of course. The lighting I chose definitely gives off its own vibe and uniqueness, so it definitely brought another piece of character to the closet. This light has crystals in it and definitely gives off an illumination of like a flower or a star, or however you interpret it. All that mattered to me, that was really pretty and crystal. For the installation of this light, I had a family friend come and install it that has installed other lighting for us in the home. I felt safe with that. This family friend also installs flooring, which takes us to our next step. Flooring can be another optional thing. For me, I had carpet in my closet prior, and I wanted to change it to a harder surface flooring. From the beginning of this process, I had been researching what flooring I would want to put in the closet. There was a couple of factors I had to take into account. I really wanted this flooring to be also a flooring I could use in my bedroom, so it could flow throughout when I do get the chance to change my bedroom flooring. I've been wanting to keep them the same. Right now, my bedroom flooring has carpet, and I just wanted it all to match up come the time. As of right now, I still only have the flooring in just the closet, but when the time comes that I can put the flooring in my bedroom, I like the color that I picked out. I used online tools to see how my closet would look with different floorings, and that just helped out a lot because it made you think, oh, you're looking at it in reality and like how it would actually look come time it was finished. Using those online tools, I definitely did find the perfect match, and it was really a perfect match. I ended up going with a vinyl plank from LL Flooring in the color Buttercream Maple, and it is also waterproof. After the flooring was completed, I ended up moving in my vanity into its area because I wanted to see that it fit, and also wanted to see what other accessories and storage items I could get and I would need to measure with my vanity in its place. This is a time where I installed my clothing rods. I just want to point out an important reminder. Please make sure you measure the area where your clothing rods will go, because sometimes with those measurements, I told you, it can change once the whole project was finished, and you want to make sure you get the right rods that will fit in that area, whether if they extend or they don't extend. And you just want to double check that measurement before you go and buy any rods, because that just make extra steps for you and more waiting time to get the right rods. Like all my other hardware, I got bronze rods. With this part, I did need assistance, a helping hand, because you definitely want to make sure that everything stayed leveled as you're drilling in the rods, and you definitely would need somebody else to hold up a rod or drill, and it's a two-person thing. You also want to make sure it was leveled. I had the help of a leveler to help with that, and you need to make sure that stays up straight, because some of them don't stay where they need to either, so that's where a partner would definitely help. Like I said, you will need a drill. This would have to be a powerful drill, and you also need some screws. Both the drill and the leveler were linked in the part 1 video, as well as the screws. After I put up my clothing rods, I inserted my custom hamper. This custom hamper was something that I made. It was a DIY. I wanted it to fit perfectly within the spot that I had set for my hamper, and I will get more into this in another video because it was very easy. It's not long, it didn't take long, and it should be a cool another DIY project that I can show you. So I won't spend too much time talking about this hamper because I will put everything in that video that I will put out soon. video with me, you have made it to the end, to the last step. This is the organization part of the project. I started to move in all my clothes and my accessories. I wanted to organize all my clothes in a specific way. This also was the time where I picked out all the different clothes that I no longer wanted so I could donate them. I moved in all the clothes in the order that I wanted to organize them and put them in places. I also moved in my makeup cart, which I will also link, and a rug. As you can see here, there's a lot of leftover space in these pictures, which I didn't have before. All items will definitely be linked in the description just in case you want to see. I will definitely be making an additional video to go over all the different organizational items I bought for the closet, definitely to step up the game in organization and keep that closet organized through the whole time I'm here, living here, using the closet, so all the time. And these are definitely items that anyone could use in their closet, not just somebody doing a DIY closet, just any closet. This could be your storage closet, your utility closet, bathroom closet, like any kind of closet. Some of these things could definitely be used to help with your organization. That's in regards to clothes, regards to makeup, any cabinet space, purses, shoes, anything. I want to say I do have some more additional ideas in regards to the closet. These ideas are based around my door to my closet and the door handle. Kind of have the idea of wanting to change it and do something different, but I'm just not totally sold on it. So at the moment, the closet is done. It is as complete as it can be, but in the back of my mind, that is still there and it's still something I will be looking into for the future. So we get a thumbs up for being complete. I just want to thank you for following along in this DIY project. I hope you enjoyed it. I really do. Took my time. Coco, you just hit your head on the door. Silly dogs. So part 3 will definitely focus on the budget and the financial aspect of the whole project and just break down the cost of different things and materials that you would use. A lot of the tools were linked in the part 1 description. Things that were used this time that I said will be linked in this video's description will be linked in this video's description, so you can find them yourself too. But the part 3 budget video should definitely be short because it's just going over the finances. So you can be notified of new uploads like the budget, my DIY hamper, and the organizational items I used. Make sure you tap the bell so you can get notifications. Again, I appreciate your support. Please make sure you go like, subscribe, even comment what your favorite part of the video was, what you liked, and also share with your friends and family because you never know, somebody might like it and somebody might want to see all the different things that we do within this business and all the projects we might get into, and I know there will be future ones. So I am Bria once again, and I will see you guys all on our next video. Say hi to the puppy. Say hi.